We all had that one popular girl in school that acted like she was the main character. And if your school had one too, then you already know exactly who I'm talking about. The weird thing is, nobody even knew why she was popular. She wasn't the smartest person in class. She wasn't the funniest. She wasn't some amazing athlete. But somehow the second she walked into school, half the building acted like a celebrity had just arrived. Every morning she'd show up late. Not 5 minutes late, not 10. I'm talking 20, sometimes 30 minutes late. And she'd walk through the classroom door like photographers were waiting outside. Then she'd take forever getting to her seat, putting her bag down, fixing her hair, looking around the room, making sure everyone noticed she was finally there. And somehow the teacher would barely even say anything. Meanwhile, if the rest of us were 30 seconds late, we'd get treated like we committed a federal crime. But the funniest part was always her friend group, because the second she sat down, they would all magically appear. It was like watching a superhero team assemble. One would instantly start laughing. Another would ask how her morning was. Another would start complimenting her outfit. And somehow every story she told sounded exactly the same. I was literally so tired. I literally couldn't wake up. I was literally dying. And everyone around her would act like she had just delivered the greatest speech in human history. Meanwhile, the rest of us had been sitting through math for half an hour already. But the absolute worst part was trying to talk to her. Because no matter what you said, she'd always react like you just insulted her entire family. You could ask the most normal question ever. Hey, do we have homework? And she'd stare at you, then slowly turn toward her friends, whisper something, and suddenly the entire table starts laughing. At that point, you're just sitting there wondering what even happened. Because somehow, asking about homework turned into a comedy special. And the crazy thing is, her friend group would laugh no matter what she said. She could point at a wall and say, wall, and they'd be crying with laughter. Like, congratulations, you've discovered basic architecture. Then, there was the way they treated anyone who actually cared about school. Whenever somebody asked a smart question, they'd instantly start calling them a nerd. The teacher could be explaining something important. A student raises their hand to understand it better. And immediately, the entire friend group starts looking at each other and giggling, as if understanding the lesson was somehow embarrassing. But here's the part that always made me laugh. Most of the time, they weren't even smart themselves. I remember one day, our teacher asked a super easy question. She asked what language people speak in Spain. Without even thinking, the popular girl throws her hand into the air. Full confidence. No hesitation. No doubt whatsoever. The teacher calls on her, and she proudly says, Mexican. I am not joking. She actually said Mexican. And somehow she looked proud of the answer, too. Then she high-fived one of her friends, like she had just solved world hunger. I genuinely thought I was in a hidden camera show. The classroom went completely silent. Even the teacher looked confused. And somehow, that wasn't even the dumbest thing she'd ever said. But honestly, that's when I realized something. A lot of people like that spend their entire school life believing everyone is obsessed with them. They think they're the main character. They think everybody is watching them. They think everybody wants to be them. But in reality, most people are just waiting for graduation. Because 10 years later, nobody remembers who sat at the cool table. Nobody remembers who got the most attention in class. Nobody remembers who acted like a celebrity every morning. But people do remember how they were treated. They remember who was kind. They remember who was respectful. And they definitely remember the girl who thought people in Spain spoke Mexican. So now I want to know, did your school have a popular girl like this? And what was the dumbest thing she ever said or did? Drop your story in the comments, because I swear every school had one, and I want to see who had the craziest version.